So I'll leave my house at 6:30, I get there at 7, and basically the expectation for me when I walk in the door is my producer will assign me about 3 to 4 of the top news stories of the day, and I need to have somebody ready to go in 3 hours. I have 3 hours to book usually one person, but then if I'm working on 3 or 4 stories, it ends up being a lot more than that. So I'm booking like 5 or 6 people a day. But they expect somebody by 10 o'clock normally, so it's a pretty tight turnaround. So it could be, I'm chasing a story about the economy, or I'm chasing, a freelance journalist in Libya to tell us what's going on the ground, or I'm chasing a political story out of Ottawa in Canada, and I need a journalist or a politician in the chair in 3 hours, and it's, booking the studio, booking the guests, pre-interviewing the guests, doing the research, putting together a pack for the anchor, and then, having that ready in 3 hours. So when I first started doing the job, I would completely psych myself out before work, and I would listen to really aggressive music on the way in, pumping myself up, like, I can do this, I can do this. And as time went on and I got more used to the work, it got a little bit easier and I got a bit more comfortable. But even now, it really depends on whatever I'm assigned at the beginning of the day, what I'm going to be doing. I could have a great day, it could go really smooth, I get all my guests booked, all my hits go really well, the anchors are happy. Or, I'm sitting there and I'm making my phone calls 7 in the morning, 7:30, 8, 8:30. I still don't have anybody for 10 o'clock, and they're still expecting somebody for 10 o'clock. 9 o'clock, still don't have anybody. 9:15, and then my heart starts pounding because they're still expecting somebody. And my producer keeps turning over every 5 minutes. Did you get anybody? Did you get anybody? Did you get anybody? No, I didn't get anybody. So leave me alone, back off. But I find that when I remember to pray and when I remember to ask for Kami's help, whether that's before I leave the house in the morning or, I take a private moment in a bathroom stall, I'm like, oh, Kami-sama, please help me. That's a little bit more of what we called at FTI the panic faith. It's a little bit better usually if you can be a bit more proactive. So I find that my day goes a lot more smoothly if I remember to pray and ask for Kami's help, and not just for myself, but pray that all my coworkers can do their best. That's all you can really hope for. Not necessarily pray that you can book somebody, because sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes I fail and I can't get somebody in 3 hours. You try your best. But that's something that I usually ask for, not necessarily always asking if I can book somebody, but just that I can do the job to the best of my ability, along with my coworkers. And I find that when I remember to ask for that help and I kind of unburden myself to Kami, it makes a huge difference in the way my day goes. Not necessarily, like I mentioned, that I end up getting somebody, but just the way the day goes in terms of my relationships with my coworkers and how smoothly things go, and there's a lot less tension and anger and stress. And I remember once I took it to the mediation session with Uzunoe Sensei, and he told me once that when you pray to Kami and you're making a request or you're worried about something and you pray to Kami about it or you talk to a mediator about it, it's like you're offering it onto the altar. And so if you offer that worry or that concern or give it to Kami, you put it on the altar, and then you start worrying about it again, it's like you're taking that offering back. So when you unburden yourself to Kami, let that go, let that burden off your shoulders, and it makes a huge difference. And that's something that, as Stephanie knows, I keep getting reminded about that constantly. I seem to pull the same teaching every year and have little reminders of that in my life all the time. But I think that that's something very valuable that I continue to struggle with all the time. But if it's something that you can remember daily, if there's something that comes up in your life, it makes a huge difference, and I think it'll help you in your daily life. Never think anything's too small or too trivial to ask for, because what might seem trivial to you might not be trivial, might not be trivial to Kami. So I think that if we can all learn to do that, I guess, a little bit more every day, I think it'll make a huge difference. So I hope that I can continue to learn that, and you guys can too. Thank you.